Thought I'd just touch base with you this morning privately in relation to the presidents, the secretaries and the club committee members who may see this email, just as a further update and a slightly more detailed update just offline about what's happening with the decisions for this weekend and moving forward. So first thing I wanted to just give you some reassurance on is that in relation to the decision this particular weekend, there were several other factors that caused us to make the decision that we did, and it wasn't just the COVID conversation alone, and we're not being driven purely by the COVID numbers, although we do have a responsibility. But however, other factors that weren't discussed, because they didn't need to be in the video yesterday, was that we'd also received significant correspondence from many clubs that they were already struggling to field numbers, particularly in their lower grades, just simply because of the time of year. So minus the COVID conversation, all of you would be aware as club officials that the first round after Christmas is always a challenge to get teams up. And so when you combine that with the COVID conversation, there were actually several clubs that were struggling to field teams at all. So we just felt that in a catch your breath conversation that all factors combined, that this particular weekend was best to not only give the RDCA a chance to firm up its position for the rest of the season, which I will get to in a sec, but most importantly, give you guys a chance to catch your breath, give you guys a chance to get a handle on what your real numbers are looking like, versus if you had done that, then you would be scrambling as volunteers tonight to figure out what you're doing for Saturday. And we just simply didn't think that that was enough time, given all the variables that was happening, for a fair and reasonable expectation for the club volunteers to do that. So it's not a precedent, and I'll say that again, it's not a precedent that we've set. It's simply an isolated decision that we've taken this weekend to firstly support the clubs in relation to knowing what their true positions are and giving you guys the time to do it, which was loud and clear in some of the feedback that we've got. But secondly, what I want to reassure you about is that we will absolutely 100% be moving forward with the season next week. We will be back next week. We will be playing. Games will be on, and we will not be cancelling the season. So again, there's been no precedent that's been set by the RDCA about what will be happening moving forward, as many are talking about at the moment. I think that's something which is fair and reasonable as an assumption, but it's not accurate. We simply made an isolated decision, as I've explained. But the key message I want to give all of you moving forward is that we will be moving forward with the season as of next weekend, 100%. What we're doing at the moment is giving you guys time to actually understand what your true playing numbers are. And what we're doing in the meantime is figuring out the appropriate structures based on the circumstances of what it might need to look like as far as adjustments to any playing rules or any adjustments to any type of structures that we need to do to support you for the rest of the season, because it will be a very different second half of the season to what it is in the first half of the season, simply because of those COVID numbers. But the COVID numbers will not affect our ability to proceed forward. And that's the key message I want to give you. So on that note, if you guys could do me a favour and filter that message down through your playing groups in terms of the fact that we will be back. The season is not going to be abandoned, and that will be full steam ahead in some form in the following week. That would be great, and we'd really appreciate that. All right, I hope you guys are all well, and I look forward to seeing you back on the park next week. Bye for now.